All right, welcome to Cooking with Kids. This is a show for kids, so parents, get out of the room, unless of course you want to help and maybe make sure nothing gets thrown or broken or cut or all that. Because today we are going to make something that is awesome for a lunchbox or maybe a snack in the afternoon, and something that you kids can make at home. We're making energy bites, and you're going to need a couple things to get started. First is a bowl. I'm recommending a medium bowl, much like this. Now, here's what else you need to go find. Number one, and probably most important, is almond butter. Now, you can also do this with peanut butter. So, I've got my almond butter here. I've got my peanut butter here. Now, if you've got a nut allergy, go for sunflower seed butter. That will also work with this recipe. Today, we're going to use almond butter. Step one. Step two is going to be some oats. Grab some oats. Okay, here's what you're looking for. You're not looking for those instant oats. You're definitely not looking for steel cut oats. I want old-fashioned rolled oats, the kind with well, this is Bob on the front, but any person on the front who says old-fashioned oats, that's what we want. Next up, I want you to get some flaxseed. Now, I've got my flaxseed in a ball jar because mine is already ground. But what you're looking for is flax meal or ground flaxseed. You do not want whole flaxseed. Here's a tip though. If you've got whole flaxseed, throw it in the blender, blend it up, and pretty soon you've got flax meal. This is going to give us a lot of those good, healthy proteins. Next that we're looking for, chia seeds. So chia seeds are these cool little black things, and we're going to use some of those in what we've got going on here. But if we just mixed all that together, let's face it, it wouldn't be that good. So we're going to add some sweetness to it. Now I know you've got some chocolate chips lying around the house. Grab those chocolate chips. We're going to throw some of those in. And last but not least, I want you to find some maple syrup. Now, kids, here's a tip. If you look at that maple syrup and you see that it's not 100% pure natural maple syrup, then you go up to your parents and you say, "Mommy, Daddy, could we please get the real maple syrup?" Because that's what you want. You don't want that imitation stuff. You don't want just regular syrup. Get some good maple syrup and it makes all the difference. Okay, we are going to get to work, and just as a warning, you're going to get a little dirty today. So make sure you've washed your hands. Make sure you have a clean area, because we are going to dig in to some energy bites. Okay, first thing we're going to do is get our dry ingredients into our bowl. I want to start with the oats. We're going to go with a cup of oats. Now, I've got some measuring cups here, but if you don't have measuring cups, you can just do it by sight. A cup is about a fist. So we're going to get a cup of oats, and we're going to toss those in our bowl. It doesn't have to be exact. Boom, oats in the bowl, and we're good to go with that. Next, we're going to do our flax meal. So with our flax meal, we're looking for about a half of a cup. So you know how I had that cup measurement? I'm going to fill it about halfway. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. About halfway, boom, into the bowl. So again, 1 cup oats, half cup flax. Now, I've got a couple dry ingredients. I've got a few more dry ingredients to add. Remember I mentioned chia seeds. I've got a new bag here, so let's open that sucker up. We're not going to go with a crazy amount of chia seeds. We're going with about a tablespoon. So if you have a tablespoon measurement, if you don't, throw in about 3 teaspoons full, or kind of a small handful, and in we go. We are not quite done with our dry ingredients because we have not forgotten the most important one, chocolate chips. They will make these energy bites delicious. So about a half cup. You can pretty much do this whole recipe with just the cup measurement. So for the half cup, I'm going to fill it up. How full? That's right, halfway. So we're going to pour these in about halfway. Whatever you do, don't take some and throw them in your mouth like this. Because it's just delicious. So don't do that. These, in we go. Now, I got my dry ingredients here. Grab a spoon. And just mix those together. Really easy. Now this is the easy part. Don't worry, the hard part is coming. So, all my dry ingredients are in. I am ready for the ingredients that are not dry. Want to guess what we call those? The wet ingredients. I'm going to start with my almond butter. Now, here's a tip for those of you using almond butter. It is best if it is cold already. So keep your almond butter in your fridge, easier to use in this recipe. This one Well, it wasn't in the fridge. It was new in the pantry. So it's not quite as firm as I want it to be. That just is going to make this recipe all the more fun. I want 2/3 of a cup. So once again, I'm going to get my cup measurement. I'm going to take my almond butter, and guess what I'm going to do? That is right. I'm going to pour 2/3 of this, and boom, I've got my almond butter right in there. Now, remember how I said I had a spoon on hand? I'm going to grab that spoon, and I'm just going to scrape this out because you want all of that almond butter goodness. Oh, that is perfect. You're never going to get all of it out of there, but try to get as much as you can so it doesn't go to waste. Okay, we are almost done, and we're almost to the exciting part, but we cannot forget the maple syrup. I've got my maple syrup. This is going to add a lovely sweetness to this. So I'm going to take my maple syrup. Remember, I've got the cup. I'm going to go 1/4 of a cup. Now, if you go a little bit over, I mean, who's going to know? Don't go way over because you don't want these super sweet. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to fill it up about 1/4 of a way. And a little bit more. I'm going to take this. In we go. That is it. That is all that goes in these. And they're all just real, whole, good, nutritious ingredients for you. So now it's the mixing time. I've got everything in the bowl. It's kind of a mess right now. I'm going to take my spoon. Let me hold it up so you can see. And I'm just going to start working this in until it sort of becomes like a big paste-like consistency. Now, if my almond butter was cold, then I would use my hands for this next part. My almond butter was not cold. So if I were to use my hands, they would get incredibly sticky at this point. So I'm going to do a couple things to try them out, see how they go. I have an ice cream scoop. And what we're going to do is basically scoop this out into balls that we can put into a tray. It needs to be a tray that will fit in your refrigerator because these have to stay refrigerated. You could also freeze them. What I like to do is freeze them, and then you can take a couple of them, put them in a container, stick them in your lunch, and you are good to go with an awesome part of your lunch. So I'm going to start by using the ice cream scoop. And what I'm going to do is scoop out about that much. So it's about a full scoop. But then I'm going to use this spoon to form it in the ice cream scoop into a ball. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball because these are homemade. Have fun with it. And once you have it formed a little bit, you're going to take it and put it right into your container. So I've got my container here. I'm going to take this and boom, there you have the ball. So we're basically going to scoop out the protein balls until they look like this. And let's keep this camera rolling and see what we've got. I'm going to keep scooping these out. Scoop, scoop, scoop. And we will go to turbo speed. And we're back. So now what I'm going to do, just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, like I know some of you are, I'm just going to scoop some of these together to form them into tighter balls so that they freeze up a little bit better. And once I've got those looking about right, you'll end up with about 8 to 10 of these in this recipe. You're just going to put the lid on these. You're going to stick them in the fridge, and then you are going to have some delicious energy bites. You can eat them for breakfast, you can eat them for lunch, you can eat them after a snack, you can eat them at home. These will be in the fridge, ready for you, and what's even better is you made them yourself. And when you make something yourself, let's face it, it just tastes better. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and check out next time what we've got cooking for kids.